Welcome back to another chapter of F-Zero ending it all. Last time, Tinsel Steelus won second place in the Sand Ocean race, while Gomor and Shio, the Furicakes, took first place. Nevertheless, Dr. Million wasn't really there, so there was no harm done. Sadly, she never met up with the task force yet, so she's still continuing her quest on looking for them. And coincidentally, this is actually lap 4, and the song I just played, Night of Big Blue, is actually based on lap 4 of F-Zero GX's story mode, the, the challenge of the bloody chain. What a coincidence, huh? So, without further ado, let's get this started. Alright, lap 4. Somewhere in outer space, Zoda was infuriated as he realized Octoman was missing in action. Bah! Where the hell is that obnoxious Octoman? He was so enraged that he actually kept trashing the space station while looking for him in his deep claw. He was close to his breaking point. Arrgh! Someone answer me before I blow somebody's brains out! Who were you looking for, Zoda the Zealous? He looked and saw Luna Ryder glaring at him in his destruction. Don't toy with me, lady. Octoman is gone 'cause of that self-righteous imbecile Tinsel. That slippery fish got away with it. We need more recruits, or else we, along with him, are gonna be in the fryer. Relax. I'm certain we will track down Octoman somehow, she responded cold and composed as ever. But until then, we need to clip her tail. Lord Shadow is going to send out you and Baba to the next Grand Prix. It matters not if she'd participate. However, we must keep ourselves from losing royally. We cannot let the secrets of the task force be revealed just yet. Even Zoda was convinced by her words, like a chill shimmering down his spine. You are quite the talker. Your resolve has stunned me since Black Shadow recruited you. He was just glad he'd be chosen with his buddy Baba to exterminate her. I can assure you that her punishment will be nice and brutal. Tinsel received a message from Clank at the Falcon House. In her apartment, she picked it up via flat screen. He was all smiles. Tinsel! Awesome work nailing that sandstorm! Too bad you only got second, though. It's alright, Clank. I don't mind as long as Dark Million doesn't get the profits. By the way, you haven't heard from Rick or the others, have you? His face dropped. Sorry, Tinsel, nothing. But at least someone, or some 2 people, are willing to join you. Gomor and Chio will do great. Yeah, but I only wish at least he was here. It's been too long. Something must have definitely happened to him. Her voice was rising as it started to crack. Hey, don't get upset. You need to keep your head up, champ, Bert chimed in. I'm sorry, Bert. I I didn't mean to make the kid upset. We're doing everything we can, but we haven't gotten a connection yet. Still, you must be ready for that big blue race tomorrow. I know. Her mind was fixed on the fact her best friend was still missing. She couldn't wait to compete on that nostalgia track, though. That alone kind of lifted her spirits. It also cost a lot to enter, but considering that Dark Million would show up, this was not the time to worry financially. We're counting on you, and so is Rick and his friends. Do well, Tinsel. We'll be cheering for ya, Clank added. Thanks, guys. She ended the message. Her mind shifted elsewhere as she remembered Jody's voice. It was a lecture from her at the headquarters, and she doesn't get them very often. I need to tell you something. You're not really in trouble, Tinsel, but you soon might be. For you see, you do have the talent of an F-Zero racer. But you mostly suffer from meekness. What? Meekness? What's that? She wondered, as she never heard that word before. It sounded very close to weakness. It means that you hold back during each of your races. We notice that you don't go all out like Rick and Jack do. You are a woman, of course, and you can get a bit scared when the going gets rough. But sometimes you need to let yourself go and not fall back. You cannot second guess yourself either. Sometimes you'll have to take risks, be more assertive. You keep seeing how Wheeler is, right? And that's a huge difference between them. He's bold, aggressive, hot-headed, and sometimes reckless and disobedient, but she's the complete opposite of him. I see. Tinsel tried to take it all in. She was right about that. Jody said, there will be a time when you need to take chances in order to succeed and overcome your limitations, not second-guess yourself or be hesitant. I've noticed you often hold back when your comet's power is low. Tinsel was always nervous on destroying herself like she did in Whiteland. If she could conquer her fears and perhaps be with Rick and the others more, she can become stronger and achieve more victories. This is meekness, not weakness. There is a difference. You can't always play it safe. Only those who go too far will know exactly how far they can go. Think about it. Only those who go too far will know exactly how far they can go. Tinsel repeated the words out loud. Back? She's right. Jody's right. I do need to take some chances. Risk equals reward sometimes, and there's so much at stake. Rick and Jody will be proud if I can break my limits. She then made a declaration in a clenching fist. I will win this race and never hold back. For you guys. The weather was dark and gloomy at night, and the waters were choppy. The starting line was at the back of the dolphin-shaped course, and the lights were very dim. The course is known as the Dolphin Dive. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the elite course of Big Blue, the Dolphin Dive. The announcer spoke over the roaring crowd. As usual, he presented each of the pilots, and Tinsel noticed. Soda's here? She saw the death anchor in the middle of the lineup, while the Comet was next to a machine that was gray and had patterns of tiger stripes. Wonder what that belongs to, she thought. Well, well, well. If it isn't the remaining pest from the task force I wasn't able to take over. She remembered him well. He once tried to manipulate her mind as he unknowingly gave her a toxin mixed in with her drink while she was training at the hovercraft hub in Tortoise 3. She also knew Zoda was her target. Zoda, so we meet again. Only this time it'll be your last. I have a crony that'll do the job. He pointed to that machine she saw earlier. She reminisced for a second on Jody's words, and considering she's dealing with Rick's nemesis, he came into her mind, filling her with some spite. You won't resist us this time, Tinsel. Victory's within our grasp, and you'll be seeing your friends very soon. We'll see about that, Zoda. He was taken aback as she retorted. Ooh, I see one. I suppose Wheeler has influenced you too much. Time to put an end to that! Her body tightened as he saw him withdrawn to his vehicle. She hurried to her own just seconds before they were starting up. As she clutched the steering handles, her fingers were turning white. Soda! I will defeat you! Despite the hazards on the course, Tinsel was always focused on the lethal enemy. At times, the waves licked the track, making it slippery as each machine skidded on it. This was especially chaotic when they approached the dorsal fin, as the turns were very sharp. This wasn't too much of a threat for the Comet, as it had a decent grip. However, she found herself colliding with the guardrails as she was struggling on the pointed fin. Another portion submerged the machines underwater by the bottlenose. The pulse current forced them to go in a direction they didn't want to go, making them lessen their speed or pushing them toward the walls. There were also some jumps and speed plates, though they must be careful not to dive into in the ocean. And the most tricky part was where the belly curved in. They must be fully aware as they were using the jump pads, which was a must to get over the raging sea. Lastly, the circuit eased itself as they went through smooth curves at the tail. Then it was rinse and repeat literally as they went through these enduring trials for 2 more laps. There was clearly a test of skill, as this wasn't only an expensive course, but was actually designed for daring, experienced pilots. Nevertheless, Tinsel was determined to stop Dark Million from prevailing. Just then, as she was boosting across the track, she caught up to the missile-like car ahead of the tiger-striped one. She didn't hear what those evildoers were saying. "Let's ram Tinsel out of the competition," the pilot of the Iron Tiger stated to his associate. "Good, Baba! She's closing in on us. I'll take the cake while you dissuade her." She was just about to pass her next opponent when the tiger ransacked the Comet. That certainly caught her off guard, and the monkey sneered at her. "Who are you?" she shouted. "I happen to be another drone for Dark Million. Soda ordered me to squash you." She saw the death anchor go further and further ahead. "Soda!" "What's the matter? You had enough, weakling?" he mocked. "You'll never be able to help Wheeler out this way. What's the point of you being here?" "Something that Rick was unsuccessful to do. To destroy you." "Go ahead and try. I'll see you after I win this race. Catch me if you can." Coincidentally, the anchor had the same level of speed as the Comet. "Come back here!" Tinsel was still being crushed by the tiger's strength, and the Comet couldn't take more harsh treatment. She couldn't even use her boost since it was being held back and its power was draining rapidly. An oncoming blue machine saw the devastation as the two duked it out, and the pilot recognized one of them. "Tinsel?" He saw the Comet burn up as it was on its last legs. He fell back and then slammed into the tiger with all its might, causing the enemy to spin out. Even though she wasn't out of the woods, Tinsel was relieved by the assistance of Captain Falcon? No! That's... She recognized the pilot as an anthropomorphic wild dog. "Leon? Tinsel, is that you?" "Leon!" she cried. Tinsel was surprised the space angler was there to help out in her desperate time of need. "What are you doing here in Big Blue?" "I can't explain right now. My machine's about to blow, and Soda's taking the lead. I can help. I want to return the favor after you donated prize money to my home planet last year. I'll demolish the Iron Tiger while you pursue the Death Anchor." "All right, but I need to recover." "There's a pit area before the final lap. Use it." "I will, thanks. Be careful. He may be slow, but he's very strong." As she hovered over the rainbow area, she accelerated as much as she could. "Full power! I'm coming for you, Zoda!" "Yeah, the final lap," the announcer called as they passed over. She was in second, and this was her only chance for victory. "Zoda!" He looked behind him, and the Comet was closing in. You never give up, do you? You're just as much of a nuisance as that hot-headed bastard. Since the Death Anchor was made from a missile by the Galactic Federation, it was designed for high velocity and sharp turns. However, its defenses were low. There was a rumor saying it had a self-destruct mechanism, unbeknownst to anyone, including the abnormal assassin. As Tinsel raced against Zoda, Leon was having quite a fight with Baba. The wolf was at a disadvantage when it came to speed and endurance, but he hardly slipped within the track, just as the Iron Tiger didn't. Zoda was fairly weaker than her, but he was just as fast, making it a challenge to keep up. She performed a couple side attacks, slowing down the Death Anchor bit by bit. You really are grinding my gears! She fought back, but something else caught her eye. Leon was struggling with Baba behind her, and her ally was losing when his machine started to spark. Zoda noticed the commotion too. Looks like your furry friend is being fizzled. You got a heart-wrenching dilemma on your hands, Tinsel. Not so tough after all, are you? Defect. Indeed she did. She could either help Leon, but it'll cost her the race. But if she gets rid of Zoda, she may lose the canny canine for good. However, after he said defect, she had her answer. Nobody calls me a defect! With everything she had, including her sudden anger, she crashed into the Death Anchor at full force. He lost control over his car and it stumbled throughout the course. It eventually shut down and the exterior was heavily damaged. It also cost most of her energy. Suddenly unaware of what's happening, Baba accidentally crashed into it. With all the intense speed, he flew into the air and had no idea where he was going. Ah! Ah! I'm going down! Zona, can you hear me? I'm not gonna make it! Ah! The Iron Tiger descended and just crashed into the wall beneath the gap. The rest of their bodies were never found again as they were swept away by the relentless wrath of nature. Baba actually blew up as he plummeted to the raging sea below. Ah! You vicious brats! He screeched at the top of his lungs. He just noticed them pass the wreckage. There was an enormous problem for both of them as they entered the gap themselves. We can't make it, Leon! We're low on power! What if we don't get enough acceleration? Tinsel screamed. She knew since the first F-Zero that as the machine went critical, they lose their top speed. We have to try. We don't have a choice. We must finish this together. They continued to near the ramp, and Jody's words suddenly rang in her mind. You cannot second-guess yourself. Sometimes you'll have to take risks, be more assertive. You can't always play it safe. Only those who go too far will know exactly how far they can go. Think about it. Jody? There was a sudden idea that came to her. Leon, let me follow you. My machine can go faster. I can give you a boost and you can make it over. Are you sure? No, but there's only one way to be. Tinsel tagged behind him and gave the space angler a push before it soared into the air. Then for a few hair-brained seconds, she used another one to get herself over. With that kind of cooperation, they managed to sacrifice whatever was left of their energy and clear the ramp. They almost lost their minds in ecstasy as they made the rest of the way. Unbelievable! The Silver Comet and the Space Angler both crossed the finish line, and by a photo finish, the champion has been decided. Although they weren't sure who won, by the time their victory lap was finished, they calmed down and then caught up on lost time. I hadn't really told you the whole story, Tinsel, so allow me to fill you in. About 12 years ago, with 13 counting this year, my parents were killed in a war on Zo. It was known that a species have natural advantages over humans, such as sharper reflexes and enhanced instincts. One day I met Super Arrow and Mrs. Arrow when the couple were vacationing there. They decided to give me a chance in racing the king meter using my prized machine, the Space Angler. Demonstrating his outstanding abilities, it was decided he would be sent to the F-Zero Grand Prix to be a symbol of hope for his ailing, war-torn world. Although he wasn't considered bright nor strong, he proved to be an amazing pilot at the F-Zero races, despite his young age. I was only 16 then, and I was constantly being teased on by other pilots. His determination and performance has given him a good track record. It's my dream to become champion so I can use the money to save the children of Zhao from poverty and despair. And I can't thank you enough for your generous offer. Recently, Leon worked as a busboy at the Falcon House. He had a secret crush on Lucy and was deathly afraid to confess it to her. The lack of bravery and confidence he just shed away from her ever since. That was almost a similar predicament as Tinsel was unable to show Rick her feelings. Then it was her turn. During a flashback, Tinsel won second and defeated Blood Falcon, as she received the $200,000 space credits. She saw a disappointed coyote or perhaps a wolf ahead of her. Through her research, she knew Leon. Tinsel gave away some of her prize money after hearing about him and his plight at Zhao. Then they saw Black Shadow disappear as they gazed at Deathborn. There was a portal made of dark electrical energy, and a voice boomed from it. Black Shadow, you failed again! You good for nothing! He was using an energy saber of sorts, and the demon was caught and electrocuted. Arrgh! Forgive me, Lord Death! The demon reached out a hand and... Arrgh! He just vanished. After meeting Lucy, he heard about Clang's crisis in the orphanage at Forno. Ironically, he was the head of an orphanage himself. To return the favor, he actually wanted to help her out to defend the galaxy's kids from Dark Million and search for the task force. He's heard some rumors that Tinsel was part of the team, but she told him that they've disappeared. The Dark Million may be behind this. Even Leon's shocked that Black Shadow's still around, and that he recognized the other villains he saw in a few races prior. With a smile, he vowed to stick with her. Tinsel won first, while Leon was in second. Yet again, she shared the money with him. No, Tinsel, this time you keep it. You deserve this victory. After all, this is your second first-place win? Yes, it is. Not counting the hovercraft race, of course. I can't thank you enough, Leon. You really saved my hide back there. As you did with mine. I'll stick with you through thick and thin until we stop Dark Million for good. This time it's for the kids. And for Rick and the task force. I'd appreciate that very much. They both raised the trophy as a symbol for their friendship and sharing the wild triumph in their common goal. So, Tinsel has slewed Baba, I see. Black Shadow said as he watched the race from the telecom inside a dark, massive room. Indeed she did, Lord Shadow, replied Luna Ryder, standing closely next to him. We must defeat Tinsel and her allies before she soars way too high. She could destroy every single last one of us. Not necessarily, my dear. He reached down and brushed her hair. For you see, we have something far more sinister in mind. He then pointed to several massive tanks, and the people trapped in them were motionless and wired. They were so obscure that their bodies couldn't be identified, except for some rough details, like Jack's spiky hair, or parts of Rick's uniform, or Clash's metallic body. They will soon awaken, and they would serve us loyally, regardless if they happen to be their friends turned foes. They've taken a face-heel turn in our favor, Miss Killer. He faced the comatose Rick. You will be reunited with him yet, and his essence will get enveloped in a world of darkness. He will be our new secret weapon, and Tinsel and the universe will be ours for the taking! Whew, glad that's over with. It took me almost forever to write this out. Again, thank you, Scientix, for the inspiration. Japanese dubs were like hit or miss, mostly miss. Yet I was able to pull through with it, especially when I created a new track for Big Blue, the Dolphin Dive. Not really a course developer, so yeah. Also, I think Night of Big Blue should be played during the race instead of Leon's theme as well. Leon has always been one of my all-time favorite pilots since GX. Here's what I think the voice cast should be. Have Black Shadow, Deathborn, Captain Falcon, Blood Falcon, Leon, Beastman, Gomar, and Shio's voices from GX, and Jack and everyone else's voices except Zoda's from GP Legend. Zoda would pretty much sound like Kefka from Cydia. I just can't take him seriously in the anime except whenever he was around Rick. That was it. And it seems that Black Shadow has something diabolical going on with him and the task force. Could the rumors be true after all? Find out later, F-Zero fans. Until then, this is the Ecron Writer signing out. So, find out next time.